Hello, my name is Samuel Taylor. It's an honor to be presented in front of you today to inform you of some of the underreported issues going on at our southern border. On average, daily we are finding 1,800 pounds of narcotics and illegal drugs attempting to cross legally into the United States at our points of entry. Along with that statistic, annually $8 billion are made every year as illegal animals and wildlife are coming across for the illegal markets in an attempt to make money and lives better for those who think there's no adverse effects bringing these into our country. But as I will present to you today, that is not the case. In my 10 years in the Air Force, I have firsthand experienced overseas and in this country the things we are trying to prevent that would bring down the sovereignty of this great nation. While in my years, I've had the great honor of serving the state of Texas in the Air National Guard, serving alongside the State Guard and our federal entities along the southern border, seeing firsthand a lot of these issues. Now that 1,800 pounds a day will equate to 1.8 million pounds in a year. And in that year, of that 1.8 million pounds, 15,000 pounds of that is fentanyl. Now I'm sure we've all been made aware of the severity of fentanyl. Even just touching fentanyl can cause adverse effects, an overdose, even death. And we have seen that along our southern border. We've seen it even inland in the United States with our law enforcement entities. Now, while deaths from overdoses and fentanyl have come down slightly since 2022, this is still an issue we need to be highlighting, informing the public, and ensuring the safety of our children, ourselves, and those who have taken a sworn oath to protect us every single day. Along with these numbers and these alarming effects, an alarming amount of attention is not being paid to our natural resources, such as the native wildlife to the state of Texas and the United States, and those very fine, defined lines in the waters that separate us and Mexico. I've seen firsthand Mexican nationals spreading gill nets across the Rio Grande River, harvesting well above the legal limits that we have set for the purposes of being able to harvest later down the road for my children, my children's children, and your kids, their grandkids. They'll come north of the line in the Gulf of Mexico, now known as the Gulf of America. And there's legal ways to do this. We allow permits, we allow work visas. They can have the opportunity to come and harvest some of our resources as long as they come through the legal channel ways that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife has set forth, Customs and Immigration has set forth, and the United States as a whole has set forth. We have these rules and regulations for a purpose. Now there is slightly a silver lining to some of these issues with the wildlife. Sometimes we can seize these, use these funds to help maintain those natural resources, build up resources in other nations. Some of these animals we get to collect can be used and sent to zoos to help educate young children, their parents, and hopefully the general public as a whole as to why these issues exist. Now, some of these animals coming over, we do not have the type of climates that they are used to, the predators that they have. And Texas is a great example of why we need to have some stricter laws enforced. As immigration started to explode during 2008 and later seasons, we saw fences in southern Texas get mowed down due to the increased foot traffic. And during that time, a lot of the exotics, as we like to call them here, got out. Axis deer, warthogs, feral hogs, and some others were allowed to be released from their native areas into these public ranches and private ranches, and now they're out among white-tailed deer, javelina, quail, turkey, and a plethora of other native species that either visit our state on their migration trails or come through to try to live in this state as they expand from their normal regions. Why this is an issue is because they will graze down our native plant species, allow invasive plant species to come in that have been unknowingly or willingly brought into the United States. One big example is how the Texas Department of Transportation used their own species of grass known as King Ranch bluestem, which is now deemed an invasive because of how well it takes, how well it roots, and it chokes out any other native plants. Now the state is reversing that, going through, mowing down all of that grass, and purposefully planting native seeds. But this may all be for naught if we do not cut down on the illegal trade of these animal species that are coming into the state. And the illegal drugs are also causing havoc on our local economies and our federal economies, as most of this money does not be retained in the United States. A lot of this goes overseas, private funds, into Mexico, and most of this money does not make it back. We do not see revenue from this money, and it kills everyday Americans, everyday taxpayers. So the burden for every other taxpayer increases. And it's been an honor to speak in front of you and inform you of some of these issues. I hope everybody has a great day and somebody left with some more information.